In the 1920s, a scientist made a discovery that shocked the world. He proved that life could continue, even after death. In a laboratory in the Soviet Union, a machine hummed quietly. Tubes carried blood, pumps kept it moving, and gauges flickered. At the center of it all was a dog's severed head, and it was still alive. The scientist behind this experiment was Sergei Brukhonenko. Brukhonenko was not trying to shock people, he was trying to solve a medical problem. At the time, surgery was extremely limited, and doctors had no reliable way to keep blood circulating outside the body during complex operations. If the heart stopped, the patient died. Brukhonenko believed he could change that. He designed a machine called the autojector, an early version of what we now know as a heart-lung machine. Its purpose was simple: to keep blood flowing, even when the body could not. To test his invention, Brukhonenko conducted a series of experiments. In one of the most famous demonstrations, the machine was connected to a dog's head, pumping oxygenated blood through the brain. And something extraordinary happened. The head reacted. It blinked when exposed to light, responded to sound, and when food was placed in front of it, it attempted to react. These responses suggested that parts of the brain were still functioning, that awareness had not completely disappeared. The experiment stunned those who witnessed it, because it challenged one of the most fundamental assumptions about life and death: that once the body stops, everything stops. But Brukhonenko's work suggested something different: that life, at least at a biological level, could be sustained artificially. His research became one of the earliest steps toward modern life support technology. Today, machines inspired by these principles are used in hospitals around the world. Heart-lung machines allow surgeons to perform open-heart surgery, and patients can survive even when their heart is temporarily stopped. What once seemed impossible is now routine. But the way this discovery was demonstrated remains deeply unsettling, because it forces us to ask difficult questions. What does it mean to be alive? Is it the beating of a heart, the activity of the brain, or something more? Brukhonenko's experiments blurred that boundary. They showed that life is not a single moment, but a process, one that can be interrupted, and under the right conditions, partially restored. Today, his work is remembered not for its shock value, but for what it made possible. Modern medicine owes much to early pioneers who pushed the limits of what was understood, even when those experiments felt uncomfortable. Because progress often begins at the edge of what we're willing to question. And sometimes, the strangest experiments reveal the most important truths. If you enjoy exploring the darker and more fascinating side of science, subscribe to Talking Tech for more episodes of Weird Scientists. Because the history of science isn't always clean, but it is always surprising.